The Seahorse Effect by Sarah Steinbrecher. Chapter 27. The twins get an uncle! Mace startled awake and already had his lightsaber in hand before he remembered that he was safe in the temple. Quickly he scanned the room for any fluctuations in the force that signaled another's presence. But he was alone. He relaxed his defensive stance and then cursed quietly. It would be a very long time before the instincts from the war went away, or the nightmares. Thankfully, Mace had the force to help him. Still, something had woken him. He glanced around the room to see if anything had fallen, and saw that his message pad was flashing. The beep signaling the new message was probably what had woken him. Mace walked over and checked the message ID. Obi-Wan, he thought. I thought he was just checking on Anakin. Is something wrong? It was an audio-only message, so he hit the start button and Obi-Wan's voice, sounding slightly mechanical due to the message, filled the room. Hello, Mace. I'm visiting Anakin right now, and he's asked me to stay for a while to help with his physical training. I've applied for leave with the rest of the council, but I wanted to tell you myself. There was a pause, and then Obi-Wan continued, Honestly, I need the time away after the war. There was a chuckle. I may go on sabbatical myself soon. I hope to hear from you soon. Then the message ended and Mace smiled. Obi-Wan did need the break. Actually, everyone does, he realized. Perhaps the Order should stop taking missions for a while and let everyone rest and recuperate. He'd have to bring up the idea with Yoda later to see how they might manage it. Padme tried to keep Anakin calm, but she didn't have an easy time of it. His hands and arm kept tensing up, but then relaxing again when she squeezed his hand, brushed his leg with hers, generally just letting him know she was there. But she was worried too. While Anakin wanted to do something, launch an action, her mind kept racing. What if Obi-Wan turned them in? What if even their combined efforts weren't enough? Maybe she should let Anakin go. If he flew away right now, the children would be safe and she could always join them later. It was better than him being expelled or even arrested for this. They could go back to Naboo, to the lake country. Some areas there were very isolated. They could pick a spot by the water, maybe fix up the nursery in a room with a good view. Her daydreaming calm bled outwards and eased Anakin's anxiety. He looked at her and noticed her closed eyes. What are you thinking about? Obi-Wan stepped out of his room and voices drifted down the hall to him. I was thinking about having the babies back on Naboo. It was Padme speaking. We could live at Vedikino. It's a very private spot and my family doesn't use it anymore. He walked down the hall and looked in on them from the doorway. Annie and Padme had their hands curled together, sitting close enough that their sides pressed up against each other. Anakin was next to speak. We could paint their room however we wanted. One half pink, one half blue, maybe. He smiled mischievously and she sighed, but it wasn't weary. We'd be so well hidden, no one could find us. Raising their joined hands, he rested them on his swollen middle. Maybe we could get a boat and take them out on the water sometime. As nice as that sounds, it's not necessary. The couple looked up at the sound of Obi-Wan's voice and saw him standing in the door. I won't tell the council. Suddenly he had two slim arms wrapped around him and Padme's hair in his face. He smiled and hugged her back as she whispered thank yous into his shirt. Then there was a loud creak from the couch as Annie got up and walked towards the two of them. Hesitant, he stopped a few feet away. With a smile still on her face, Padme let go and backed up a few steps to watch how this played out. Anakin shifted his feet, looked down, and asked, Why? Because I have never seen you this happy, and I don't want to take that away from you. Yes, there might be other reasons, like the fact that they probably wouldn't let him leave until he agreed, but that was the main one. And then he was in a hug again.